I mean, I work as a comedian, right? So I mean, it's not the best job, but it's not something degrading like doing OnlyFans or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh.
What?
I do.
But you did.
OnlyFans.
You did tell her, didn't you? You do know.
Yeah,
I meant like Pornhub is worse.
Do you know what? Maybe we should just move on and start the podcast. We're rolling.
Right. Wow. Guess I know how you feel. Okay. Hi guys, welcome back to the Kat Baker Show, the longest running podcast in the world and the number one podcast in the Philippines, hosted by I, Kat Baker, very number one person in the UK. We also found out we're number one in the Vatican now. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool, isn't it? Today we are joined by Shalaka Kurup.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
You are a fellow doctor.
I am indeed.
Ooh, PhD queen.
Indeed. What's your PhD in?
Social policy.
Oof.
What was yours? Trains.
Trains. Trains.
Yep, I saw that. I thought, what a fucking nerd. Oh my God. I did do my master's dissertation in, though. Like, I posted about it the other day, and it's genuinely true. I did it on like why do we as a society think cats are sexy?
Oh, interesting.
Like why, like it was like a feminist analysis of the history of cats and humans, like cats and witches who've been persecuted together.
I think it's because they're svelte. They're very svelte, aren't they?
Well, yes.
I don't know.
Some would say that.
I don't have an opinion on
Are you
sexy
saying
cats.
you would sleep with a cat?
I don't think a cat would let me.
Yeah.
And I take consent very seriously.
That is good to know. That is good to know.
Always with the consent. A dog would let me so easily.
Dogs are such sluts.
Oh yeah. Dogs
Yeah, they will just
lick anything. Anything.
They actually will. They will like always put out. So that is kind of true.
Yeah.
You're a comedian.
I am indeed.
Yeah. How long have you been doing that?
About 3.5 years at this point in time.
Nice. I saw you on Instagram, and I feel like, do you have a lot of horny autistic male fans?
I think I attract the kind of man that's autistic enough to like my comedy, but not what's the word for it? But so autistic that they don't message me about it.
Oh, that's the perfect.
It's a perfect level. It's like men who like board games but hate eye contact.
Yeah.
They love reading books but can't type a message. That sort of. I love them. I love all of them. Yeah, but no one slides into my DMs. I'm the most virginal comedian of all time.
Really?
Yeah, there's never been a man. There's been one man who slid into my DMs and then he just said hello and then blocked me. So I'm doing great.
God, be careful what you say, because people seeing this now, they're gonna be going in there.
Okay.
They're gonna be coming
please
up.
slide into my DMs.
Right? Yeah.
All female comedians, they have these stories about being harassed by men, and I'm like, am I ugly? No one's harassed me. Harass me.
You just need, if you just have a thing go viral, a clip go viral talking about your vagina, then that'll.
I need to do that.
Yeah.
The thing is, the clips I've had that go viral, the negative comments I always get out of my country, which is, you know what, fair enough. Fair enough. Brexit means Brexit. But yeah, I never get like harassment. I always get like bald men wearing English flags telling me to go back home.
Oh, so you're from India?
I am from India, yeah.
When did you move here?
2012.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 20 years ago. I was like,
No. How old do you think I am? Don't answer that.
Right. I think you're 27.
I'm 31.
Oh, I'm 30.
You're 30?
Yeah.
We're not 30s together.
Look at us. Two gals in their 30s and doctors.
I know. And here at 3 p.m. on a Wednesday.
Yeah.
No jobs in sight.
Yeah. Fuck, man. What? Why did you move here to study?
Yeah, I came here to do my undergrad, and then I didn't want to get a job, so I did a PhD. And then now I'm here.
Where did you do your undergrad?
Nottingham.
Ooh. Nottingham is... Who was I having this conversation with the other day, saying Nottingham is an incredibly unattractive city? Like the people there are not hot.
I can't disagree.
Yep.
They're lovely people, though.
Yes.
Lovely people.
Doesn't make them fuckable, though.
Yeah. I'm trying desperately to think of something nice to say, but I can't. Better than Derby. It's better than Derby.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than Derby. It's better than Long Eaton, which actually is a part of Nottingham. Yeah.
Long Eaton, I've never even
Worse
heard
than
of
Sheffield, better than Derby. That's how I describe Nottingham.
that. Right.
Yeah.
I went to uni in Brighton, so
Ooh.
everyone was sort of open and sort of.
The smell
They
of
all go
STIs
like
in the
this.
air.
Yeah. And they're sort of.
Were you in a polycule?
I actually was. Oh, maybe I was unintentionally. I was like passed around by a group of slam poets. Just sort of
That is such a great origin story. That's a villain origin story right there.
I know, literally.
You get PTSD anytime someone rhymes.
Yeah, and
Just
that's how I became a Tory. No, I'm not. That didn't happen. But yeah, Brighton was pretty. Yeah, I did, thought I was bisexual for a bit. I don't know if I think I am anymore. This is something I've discussed before.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm wondering if it was like survival bisexuality, surviving Brighton.
Yeah, because you get ostracized. if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
Fully straight in Brighton.
Exactly, pretty much.
Do you think it was that, or that there's so many men with long hair you just started to get confused?
Pretty much. Probably that as well. But yeah, I think it was like girls. It's like you just sort of make out with girls all the time there, and then sort of before you know it, you're dating them. And
Yeah.
that's kind of
Yeah,
what happens.
that's nothing like Nottingham.
What are you, a straighty?
Am I a straightie? No, I'm bisexual.
Oh,
Yeah,
you're
but Nottingham will do
bisexually.
that to you for the exact opposite reason.
Okay,
There's only so many rugby lads before you're like, oh.
you got to go on to the next gender. Yeah. Fuck. Don't you have they had a 24-hour Greggs there, though, don't they?
I think they still do. The Greggs actually, because it's such a big student city, the Greggs has bouncers outside of it after 8 p.m.
Yes, I remember. I went for like a night out once to see my
Yeah.
friends who went uni there, and I was like, "There's bouncers outside like Greggs."
Yeah, I've seen the bouncers like shove people out. They've got like a vape, and not a vape. We didn't have vapes back then. Like cigarettes in one hand and a pasty in the other hand. The bouncers like manhandling them out of a Greggs. Man, I miss Nottingham. It's a great city.
Yeah, it is. It is kind of crazy that we live in a society where like we need bouncers outside fast food joints.
Yeah.
I remember even in my small tiny town I grew up in Hertfordshire, which was like this small little Toryland town, like nothing to do there. One Weatherspoons, and like they had a Papa John's, and I remember when they got bouncers for the
Papa John's.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my god,
That's
British people, you can't take us anywhere.
Yeah.
You know?
Papa John's as well. I mean, I know it's not middle class, but it's such a middle class place to have a bouncer at.
Yeah.
It's like the top tier of bouncers.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
Greg's
yeah.
is like down here, and then you have a Papa John's bouncer.
Yeah, because you spend a lot of money in Papa John's.
You do
It's
indeed.
like 20 quid for
Yeah.
pizza or something.
It's crazy.
But you can often get a coupon deal to get a bar and go on free. So
Yeah. I used to live opposite of Papa John's.
I am so jealous. I live opposite of Domino's. Now, I won't say which Domino's.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them, so that doesn't...
Yeah.
You can't find out my address. But I wish it was a Papa John's.
I'm not a huge fan of Papa John's.
I know.
No, the dough is too thick. I don't like a Papa John's. I don't like a Domino's. Pizza Hut. Jesus Christ. Fuck off.
That is terrible.
Yeah. The best pizza is Pizza Go-Go.
Is that a London thing? Or no, that's
probably.
nation.
I don't know. I've never noticed it outside of London, but it's definitely London and surrounding areas.
What about Franco Manca?
I love a Franco.
Yeah, now that's fancy.
Yeah, but it's good pizza.
Yeah.
I remember a time when I first moved to London where me and my friends would always go because you could get a pizza and you could each get a pizza and split a bottle of wine, and it would all be 15 quid per person.
Yeah, bargain.
Those are the days.
Bargainous. You know what I've been doing recently? I've been spending a lot of time in Spoons.
Yeah, I've started doing that as well. Do you think it's because we're in our 30s?
Yeah, and I think you're suddenly just like, I want somewhere cheap.
Yeah.
And like, you don't have to even talk to the bar staff to order. You just order it on the app.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. It is truly a dream for like autistic people, because it's like you can get the same thing every time you want there, and the menu never changes.
Yeah.
And you don't have to talk to anyone to
And
order.
also £3. I went to a Spoons in the middle. It was near Old Street, and I spent £3 on a
Love
beer.
that spoons.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mascont.
Yeah.
I took some American friends there because they were like, we want to see something that's British. And I was like, Go to
Old
Wetherspoons.
street spoons. Oh my god, yeah.
you should have seen them looking around me like, this is horrifying. And
Yeah,
I was like, yep.
I remember but last time I went in there, because I've been in there sometimes to film TikToks, because
Yeah.
it's quite a good place to film, because there's no music in the background. So I'll be there like just screaming at my assistant, like doing some bit about, why won't you have sex with me? I don't know. That's normally what my jokes are or something on TikTok. Doing that, and then there's just like builders trying to have their like breakfast. Like, what the fuck is going on? But yeah.
I remember going to that Spoons it was 9 p.m. on a Friday night. And there was probably, that Spoons is big.
Yeah.
And there was like 20 people in there. It was the deadest vibe of all time. It was so funny. I was like, I've never seen a Spoons this empty in my life.
Actually, last time I went there was on a date. I went the first date. Yeah. But you know why? It was because they had 9% off, because it was their tax day where they have like they were like 9% off everything, and I was like, oh, actually it might have been 5%. Like, it was something very not worth going to Spoons for. But I went there, it was like first date, and there was a group of students on the table next to us, and one of them threw up on another one. So
Nice.
that was
Classic Spoons experience.
yes, that was pretty good.
You know, one of the best steaks in Nottingham is the Last Post in Beeston, which is a Wetherspoons.
Best steak.
I'm not even kidding.
vegan,
I
mate.
love. Oh yeah.
This is a highly offensive
It's
conversation.
also £8. I don't think you're missing out.
I remember when during lockdown, there was like, you know, when they did the eat out to help out.
Oh yeah.
My dad was like, my dad is like the cheapest man you'll ever meet. Like, he loves a bargain. Like, that's all that drives him. And he went to have a steak at Wetherspoons during the eat out to help out. So it was half price what it normally is. So I think it was like £4.
Amazing.
And he was like, wouldn't stop talking about it for a week. But
That's
yeah.
value for money. That's good value for money. And nothing beats a steak that's just been heated up in the microwave.
Yeah. God damn. So, what were you like at uni? Were you in any societies?
Was I in any societies? I think I tried a couple of them when I first started. Not that I can remember. I think I was in drama for a bit.
Ooh.
I tried salsa for a bit. I was in Bollywood
Salsa.
dance. Yeah.
That sounds so
Not the
awkward.
dancing, the sauce. No, I'm kidding.
I was like, that sounds fun. Because salsa is something that like middle-aged people do to like spice up their marriage.
Yeah, I was a very boring teenager. I think I used to the only one that stuck through most of my uni life was I used to work on which is like the mental health helpline for students.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't want to sound better than you, but I used to work in mental health. as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
You are better than me.
I was a support worker.
Oh, that's really
Yeah.
lovely. I just did it because if
that's
you
me.
stayed overnight, they gave you free snacks, so I didn't have to do a grocery shop.
Yeah, I was saying this the other day. I volunteered at a food bank, and it was because they gave me like free groceries. So
Yeah.
I was like, bingo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd just be on the call being like, yeah, I know your boyfriend's left you.
Yeah.
Just like stuffing my face with crisps.
Cool. What kind of calls did you get at that?
What kind of calls? I don't know if I'm allowed to speak about them or not, but they can sue me. A lot of them were basically stuff like, I have no friends. I broke up with my boyfriend. And
Because it's the uni one, right?
yeah,
Right.
it's a uni one, but you got locals calling in as well. There was a guy who used to call in and just like yell abuse on the phone.
Oh, wow.
If we bleep out the helpline name,
Yeah.
I can tell there's one call which I talk about in my show. Actually, it's about this woman. She was like a frequent caller, and she used to call up and talk about how she has sex with her dog, which was insane.
Oh,
It was
what did she say about it?
she not very much, because after a certain point you'd recognize her voice and then you'd have to hang up on her immediately because of liability stuff, and they don't want
To encourage it?
this. I think the company doesn't want the students to sue them for mental distress. But I
Right.
did speak to her for quite a long time the first time I spoke to her, and she'd basically describe him as her boyfriend and go into details as to how loving he was. And
Do you know what kind of dog it was?
no, I don't.
Oh my
I don't. That's actually like one of the many questions I have about her.
Was she like a student, do you think? Or...
I don't think so. I don't think she was a student. I think she was genuinely someone who lived locally, who used to call up all the time. Because what I found out later, many years later, was that she'd been banned from Samaritans and a few other helplines. but that's just a rumor. I don't know if that's actually
Imagine
true.
getting banned from Samaritans.
Yeah, I don't know if it was. Don't quote me here. Don't sue me.
yeah.
But she's definitely banned from another helpline. I'm not quite sure what it was. But that was just a rumor that's floating. That's why she used to call the uni one. Because she knew they'd have like new trainees. That was the working theory anyway.
My God. That is, I wonder, God, it kind of pleases me to know that women can be just as fucked up as men.
Bubba!
Yes. I'm glad to know it's not just men having sex with dogs out there.
Yeah.
You know?
I have so many questions about her that we would just weren't allowed to ask.
Yeah.
Like the,
God.
I mean, I know it's gross, but like what we, yeah, I have no.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so many questions, right? Like, what kind of dog was it?
Imagine she
How
got pregnant.
often?
Yeah. Like sort of hybrid human dog baby.
I used to have nightmares. The first week after I spoke to her, I used to
Yeah.
have nightmares about like, it was the same nightmare every single night where I'm in a delivery ward holding my best friend's hand and she's giving birth to a baby. And the first sound I hear is a woof. That would happen every single night.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
So fucking funny. Oh
Yeah.
my God. Yeah, I remember I had to work. Yeah, I remember one of the jobs. So I was like contracted working at some mental health facilities, but I would pick up extra shifts at this homeless hostel I used to work at. And I remember there was one guy and I remember it was like the last time I worked there, and I was like, I'm not working here anymore. He was like a guy who got kicked out for being aggressive, and they were like, they were like, go clean his room, and he'd been using his floor as a toilet and a cum bucket, like.
Wait.
So he'd been jizzing all over his floor,
Oh my God.
shitting, pissing, spitting. And I went in, and I was like, I'm not cleaning that. You need to get a forensic cleaner to clean stuff like
Yeah.
that up. I was like, like, that's so dangerous.
It's also like genuinely toxic.
Yeah. So I was like, I'm not doing that. But other thing I was thinking, people I used to work with, like in terms of like crazy clients, the nicest ones were the ones that turned out to be paedophiles.
It's because they know how to speak to vulnerable people.
Exactly. They do. They know how to like. I remember there was this one guy, and he was so, again in the homeless, he was so easy to work with, and I was like, oh, he's so nice and polite. He's so lovely. And then we got a call one day, being arrested because he'd been found in a hotel room with cocaine and a 13-year-old. And I was like, and we were like, oh, so he went to prison. But yeah,
Glad he went to prison.
yeah,
Do you think he gave the 13-year-old any cocaine?
I'm sure.
Oof.
I'm sure.
What a way to do cocaine for the first time.
Yeah, my God. Do you remember your first time doing cocaine?
No comment.
I don't think if I can even remember my first time. No. I remember my first time doing marijuana.
I remember that as well.
Yeah.
Mine was I thought the police were coming. I'm such a loser. I was
my
like, I
gosh.
was convinced. The person, my friend was like asleep, and I thought she died.
Right.
And I was convinced that I could hear police sirens.
Right.
And it was just the two of us in the house. I
Oh
kept
my
shaking her,
God.
and she's like, I want to sleep. And I was like, oh my God, the corpse is speaking. I was like, the corpse is speaking. And I was like, I can hear the sirens. I convinced myself that I could. I
Yeah.
paced back and forth,
Yeah.
forth. It was.
I remember I was 15 and I smoked half a joint, and I was like, which I couldn't even smoke that now, actually. I'd be fucked on that now. And I remember convinced, thinking my vagina was going to fall out of my body. I was like, it's going to fall out at any moment. I was like holding it in, like, no. Yeah, God.
Yeah, the other couple of weeks ago, somebody gave me a weed brownie. and I smelt it, and I was like, no, I'm done.
No.
I'm fully done.
I have actually never been big on weed. Like, I've never got on with it that much. But the last time I did it was in LA, and I had an edible, and two edibles. It was the worst experience I've ever had. So I was like, I'm not doing it again.
I had an edible in Denver, in Colorado, and those are so strong.
They are.
I remember me and my boyfriend, I was with another comedian.
Yeah.
He was like, he gave us one each, and I was like, should I split this and not have the whole thing? He's like, oh, I've had 4 and I'm fine. I had 1, and then I couldn't remember how to walk.
Yeah.
I was just sat there, and my boyfriend was like, we should get back to the hotel because I'm spacing out. And I was like, I don't remember how to walk.
Yeah.
I don't remember how.
I was like out. Like, I was like, I didn't know who I was, where I was, and I thought I was dying. And yeah, because the guy I bought it off, like, in the shop, he was like, oh, I normally take 5 and I'm fine.
Yeah.
I took 2 and I was absolutely... I was gone for like 7 hours. Like, it was, oh my God.
Once I was outside a comedy club, and one of the other comedians, I was really nervous. It was before a roast battle, actually. And one of the comedians gave me a hit of his joint. And I reacted so violently to it. Like, I threw up about 6 to 7 times. Threw up into my coat on the cab home because somebody put me in a cab. And then I can't remember what the other symptom, but I was describing it to someone. They were like, oh yeah, that guy, he smokes crack all the time.
Oh,
and I was
my...
like, what?
Oh my God. So it was like a crack joint.
I have no clue what was in there, but I was like, this is not weed. This is not weed. I feel like I'm dying.
So did you go up?
This was after.
Okay.
So I was really nervous. I smoked a bit and I was fine. And then I came back out after I was done and then smoked a little bit more, and that's when everything went down.
Oh my God.
It was,
Do you drink before you go on stage?
Do I drink? It depends on the gig. Most of the time I don't. But if it's like roast battle, I'll have a beer with me.
Yeah.
I have like limits. If I'm emceeing, then I can have a couple of drinks and I'll be fine.
Yeah.
If I'm just doing a normal set, then I won't have anything more than 1 drink.
Yeah. I've done 5 open mics now. So some would say I'm the most important woman in the comedy space. And I so far been like not drinking before. Because if I have even just after 1 beer, my thoughts kind of just go out of my head. I'm like,
I used to drink when I first started doing comedy. I used to drink for the confidence.
Right, yeah.
But then you get about a month or 2 months in and you're like, this is slippery slope.
Yeah.
Where I can't have 2 pints before every gig. That would be the end of me.
Especially if you were starting it then like every night.
Yeah, and you start depending on it to go on stage.
Yeah.
So, I can't do that.
Do you do comedy full time then?
I do, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
God. It is a lot of stand-up. It's a lot of being awake at night.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm tired all the time.
What time do you wake up?
11 a.m., 12 p.m., something like that.
So do I.
Yeah.
I am such... do you find it weird when you talk to someone with a normal job? I'm like, I do sometimes feel like I'm like, we live on different planets.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
because the other day I was talking to someone, they were like, oh, we're going to head home because I like being in bed by 11. And I was like, and doing what? And they're like, going to sleep. And I was like, I cannot remember.
Yeah.
Even, like, I remember getting on a flight at, like, I had to be at the airport at 6 a.m. And even that, then I didn't get into bed and fall asleep by 11. I can't remember the last time I fell asleep anytime before like 12, 1 a.m.
No, neither.
No. I also think it's like a brain thing where my brain, I've always been like a night owl. Like I feel the most productive at like 11 p.m.
Yeah, I was always one of those people like uni writing the essays late before.
Yeah.
Like.
When I was doing my PhD, I'd wake up at like 11 a.m., 12 p.m., go to the gym, have lunch, have a nap. Go out for the evening, come back at like 8 or 9 p.m. and then write from until like 3 or 4, 2 Red Bulls right until 3 or 4 a.m.
I remember,
repeat.
so my PhD, so I finished the actual crazy writing like last year. And I remember like in my office and I was like, I remember I'd stay pretty late to get it done, but I had one friend who I shared my office with, and he was like really pushed for it, and he spent the whole weekend at the office,
Jesus.
sleeping on the floor, not showering, just eating pot noodle. And he's like, oh yeah, so yeah.
Jeez, yeah.
I wasn't quite that bad, but he was really, he got it in though, and he actually did better than me because I got major corrections. He got minor.
Oh, wow. Well,
What did you get?
minor.
Oh, you bloody nerd. God's sakes.
I think the couple of weeks before my final submission, every single day I'd do, until I hit a breaking point where I was just vibrating all the time, but I do like Red Bull, couple of hours later tea, couple of hours later Red Bull, couple of hours later coffee.
Yeah.
And then I did that for about a month, and then I was like, oh, I'm like shaking all the time. I was genuinely like, what are the symptoms? I was looking up like early onset Parkinson's. And I spoke to my friend who's a doctor, and she's like, stop drinking Red Bull. And I was like, oh, yeah.
I was like, we were saying before, I like the PhD experience is so different from the undergrad experience.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it's like undergrad is fun and you got all these friends and you kind of, well, I was sleeping around, sort of going out, and PhD is just, you're just like a cave goblin.
Yeah.
Like, you're just sort of there, like,
Also,
Yeah.
PhD.
and just depressed.
Yeah. Also, it's that time when it's weird because you're like, oh, I'm just going to be a student. My friends are going to be leading these boring lives. And, and then you realize you get old so quickly doing a PhD where you're like, all my friends have jobs and are making money.
Yeah. And they're like, and they've sort of got a regular social life.
Yeah.
Whereas PhD, you sort of have a weird social life. I don't know. I'll sort of go to weird. You sort of go to weird student things, and I'm like, what?
Yeah. Like during my PhD, I went to like conferences. Like there were times where I'd be at like a writing conference for 2 days.
Yeah.
And then the next weekend, I'd be in like a nightclub with a bunch of 18-year-olds.
Yeah.
They're like, woo! Nottingham used to have this, for some reason, Nottingham is completely landlocked. We have 3 different nightclubs that are Baywatch themed. Which is so bizarre. And they play the Baywatch theme tune and everyone takes their shirts off and like whips it in the air. David Hasselhoff has come multiple times.
No, that's crazy.
And they not only do they organize a meet and greet, back then when you're a student, you're like, this is so much money. Now, when you think about it, it's David Hasselhoff. The meet and greet was £8.
Oh my God.
In a nightclub. So you basically pay an £8 ticket. You meet David Hasselhoff. And he always turns up wearing a t-shirt with his own face on it. And it says, don't hassle the Hoff. And every single time he turned up, he would leave halfway through because he was bored.
God.
And then he'd just go into the nightclub after that.
Oh my God.
Yeah. The guys from Steps and David Hasselhoff, that's who we got all the time.
H
from Steps,
Oh my God, love H.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about H is because he's called Ian Watkins. Yeah. So he has the same name as the paedophile.
That's just connected in my head.
Yeah, the Lost Prophets. And so when that all came out, he got loads of like hate. And he had to post a thing being like, it's not me, stop. I'm not the pedo. Oh, poor H.
There's a funny song about it. Did you ever hear of Cunt and the Gang?
No.
Look up Cunt and the Gang, and they have a song about Ian Watkins. And it's brilliant.
Oh my God.
As in the pedophile Ian Watkins.
Well, both of them. Verse to verse, it's like how
God.
they keep getting mistaken.
That's amazing.
Oh no. Yeah. But yeah, you're a bit of a nerd then, right?
Yeah.
What's the nerdy shit you like?
What's a nerdy? I love watching University Challenge.
Have you been on it?
No. Nottingham never makes it onto University Challenge.
Right, yeah.
I mean, they have in the past, to be fair, but yeah. And I love watching Only Connect.
What is that?
Victoria Carr Mitchell. It's kind of like a quiz show-y, but it's all like more deductive reasoning than it is. Deductive reasoning? I don't know if that's what you call it. It's like you see patterns.
That
and you answer questions.
So nerdy.
It is, yeah. It's really good though. Would recommend.
I've never heard of that.
Really? Oh.
Yeah.
And I like cryptic crosswords.
I like watching commentary YouTube.
What?
Like commentary YouTube.
Oh, what commentary?
I don't know. They sort of just comment on.
For a
You
second,
can get different ones.
I thought you said Coventry, and I was like, that is lame. That's not nerdy. That's worrying.
Honestly, it's often about people I've never heard of. You know those videos where it's like the downfall of X, and I've like never heard of them before.
That
and
guy
I'll
on
watch it.
TikTok, Be Better. I love watching him.
Oh no,
He's like the downfall of Bella Hadid, the downfall of Kylie Jenner.
Yeah. But it'll be like the downfall, but their downfall will be like someone posted a tweet about how they didn't like them or something.
Right.
Yeah. And that'll be the whole thing.
Yeah, fair enough.
But yeah. You're a roaster.
I am indeed.
You're roaster.
Yeah.
As in roasting comedy, not getting spit roasted.
No, not yet. Inshallah, one day.
Well, there we go, lads. Sliding her DMs. So I was like, can we roast each other?
Sure.
Do you feel ready to do that?
Sure, I'm always ready.
Okay, amazing. I have mine written down.
Okay.
Kat can't do this without her notepad.
Yeah.
Just so you know.
Okay, so I'll go first.
You can go first.
Right, okay. Shalaka loves Lord of the Rings, and so does the men she dates, in that they need to be Legoless to sleep with her.
That's a very cute pun. Lord of the Rings. I'm surprised you know that.
I do.
That's very good. What did I have for you? I think Kat Baker. Baker is a great surname for you. Because you work a lot with yeast, don't you?
I do. Yeah.
All that infection.
I did actually have one last week.
You did have a yeast infection last week. I'm not surprised.
I did. Okay. Shalaka did her PhD on trains. So for research, she had one ran on her at her local Dungeons and Dragons meet. And in a nod to her heritage, she instructed dozens of men to hang off the side of her. There you go.
What did I have for
That
you?
was a racial one.
That was a great racial one. Great joke from Miss Piggy over here. Yeah, you look like you spend your time like bullying a little green frog.
Bullying
Bullying.
a little green
You're racist. Can you not understand my accent?
What's Miss Piggy about me?
What's Miss Piggy about you?
Yeah.
I don't know. It just the forehead, the wide nose, the sassy, undeserved attitude.
It is true. It's very undeserved. The next one is you have 4 eyes.
What
You get those at Specsavers.
You have the aura of one of those, those ill pugs that middle class white women own
Yeah.
that they put in jumpers. That like shit on the carpet.
Yes.
Yeah, that's your vibe.
Breathing difficulties.
Breathing difficulties.
Struggling to stay alive.
Struggling to stay alive. You
Yeah.
have the aura of someone who needs an inhaler but won't be able to figure out how to use it.
True.
You put crack in the inhaler. Just like,
Yeah.
have you ever done crack?
No.
Okay.
I've done GHB though.
What's GHB? Gross
Date
bodily
rape
harm.
drug. But it was consensual. Like but if you take it in small amounts, it's like gay men take it in small amounts.
Oh, like poppers.
It's G. It's called G.
Wow.
But if you take too much, you comatose. But
What happens when you take a small amount?
it's like ecstasy, but much cheaper. That's how I like my drugs. Cheap.
I mean, you can say that about anything.
Yeah.
Like getting hit by a car is like ecstasy, but much cheaper.
Yeah.
Running from a rapist is like MDMA, but much cheaper.
Yeah, it gets the heart rate going a little bit. Getting mildly punched in the face. Quite enjoyable. Yeah.
Fair enough. Never heard of G before.
That was all the roast I had for you written down.
I should have prepared. I should have written mine down.
I don't. Yeah, see, I don't have the ability to think off the top of my head yet.
Yeah, that's fair.
I will get there though.
You will. I think you should do a roast battle at some point.
Yeah, I will. I'm gonna put them in the ground, whoever it may be.
I think you can do it.
I could do it.
Yeah. The judges are very kind to mildly
Special
attractive women.
needs. Yeah. And if all else fails, I'll just do a spit roast on the stage. That'll
You can
go
make
down
way
well.
more money doing that than roast battle.
Yeah,
Way more.
yeah, I should. Well, I mean, yeah, I kind of do a bit of both, really.
I think you should do a roast battle. It really helps with you thinking on your feet.
Okay, yeah. And do you prepare beforehand?
Oh yeah, like diligently. But I did an improv roast against a friend a couple of weeks ago. It was a mess. Yeah, I mean, to be fair, I was very drunk by the time I got there.
What makes a good roast? What do you pick out of, like?
What makes I think a good roast is like, the best roasts I've heard are like innovative.
Yeah.
Where it's that combination of, it's something so unique that no one's thought about it yet, but as soon as you say it, they're like, oh my God, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's the best
I know
type
what
of
you mean.
roast.
You
Yeah.
go, oh, fuck, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is that person.
Yeah. But it's
Yeah.
something that you haven't heard before.
Yeah.
I like those quite a bit. I'm trying to think of good roast jokes.
You're gonna got, if you've got any other zingers to throw at me, we can edit it in so it looks like it's super quick and fast. Well, I will in the clips. In the clips.
Can't think of anything right now. If I think of something later, we can pass them in.
Maybe just call me a slag.
You fucking slag.
Nice. I'll edit that in.
Well, that roast section was all of 5 minutes.
Hell yeah. Talking of nerds,
Yeah.
right? My audience have sent in some problems
Okay.
that we are going to answer because they need a lot of help. Not
Okay.
a lot. I mean, have you ever seen any of my comments? The kind of comments I get?
Yeah, I was a bit nervous coming on this podcast. I was like, oh shit.
It's either like whore or it's like I would sniff your farts from 10 million miles away. So
Would
yeah.
you ever do that? Would you ever bottle up your farts and send them to someone?
Oh, absolutely. I said the one thing I haven't sent is a tub of shit. Someone asked for that. And I
Really?
said I'm not doing that. A tub of poop.
Because, I mean, where did they live? Just
The
I'm thinking
UK.
in the UK.
So
even
we have to go through customs. No, it wouldn't
no,
have to go through customs.
that's my first question. The second one is, even if it's first class delivery, surely it's still stale by the time it gets there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
Well, no, not if it's sealed in.
Stale? Are we like?
fresh shit.
She likes her shit fresh. Yeah. If you put it in a Tupperware sealed. So when I send my underwear, my used underwear, which I do sell.
Have you considered getting a sous vide machine? So you suck up the. It's like a style of cooking, and not sous vide. I'm thinking of something else. Anyway, it's like a gadget where you completely remove you vacuum seal a pack. So it keeps things fresh.
Well, so when I sell my underwear, I just put it in like a Ziploc sandwich bag. So that kind of pretty much keeps.
How much do they pay for it?
$50.
$50.
So that's like,
If they paid $100, you need to start offering like a premium service.
yeah,
Like no branding, Ziploc branding. You need like,
cat's pussy
yeah.
written on it. Would you, if someone was like, sell me your socks, would you do it?
Socks. Oh yeah, for sure.
Underwear,
Yeah, probably.
foot pick.
Foot pick. Yeah. Oh, my feet are gnarly.
But
My feet.
they like that. They like that.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Have you ever watched The Hobbit?
Yeah.
That's what my feet look like. Somebody saw my feet. Somebody was describing like it was like a comedian on stage describing like the ugliest feet they'd ever seen. And every feature they named, they like, it's got bunions, the second toe is larger than the first toe. And I was like, that's my feet.
Okay. Well, true. This is true story. Okay. So I have like rigid big toes. So my feet hurt if I wear flat shoes. Okay.
Interesting.
And I went to the podiatrist and she said, quote, you have deformed toes. And I was like, what? She was like, that's the medical term. My toes are kind of curly. Like they sort of look like little claws.
Like
yeah. And she was like, yeah, and you've kind of got like, you could be prone to bunions. So
Oh,
I feel
fair
you,
enough.
girl. I feel you.
Yeah. And so do you sell feed pics?
Yeah, it's not the most common thing I get
Interesting, yeah.
requested.
Yeah,
You just get the odd foot guy, but foot guys don't spend money.
I can believe that.
Yeah, they're the cheapest, so
Yeah.
you're not making big
Somehow
bucks.
that, I don't know why, but that checks out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Right, let's hear these problems from my fans that have sent in.
Okay, this one might be a bit of a flex actually. Now that I read it again.
Oh.
And you guys did a lot of uni years, so you might be able to relate. Somebody was like, how do I balance uni work with a healthy sex life? My essays aren't getting done.
Oh,
Oh, top shagger.
yeah. You mean you're wanking too much? That's the issue. I think, what was my sex life in uni? Mine was like, it's just shit one night stands. So it didn't take up that much time.
Is that just uni?
Yeah, true. That's the whole fucking 20s. Yeah.
I think, like, it's not that hard to write. Also, it's 2025?
Yeah.
You've got ChatGPT. Stop being lazy.
Yeah.
Who told you to write your own essays?
My mate gets paid. He does the essay writing service where
Yeah.
he gets paid to write other people's essays.
Yeah.
But he just does ChatGPT to do it for him.
That's a great job.
Yeah.
That is such a good job.
Yeah. So like, I don't. Undergrad essays are also so easy.
Yeah.
As someone who's now done a PhD, I can tell you.
It's piss easy.
Yeah, piss. You
Just
could.
throw in a couple of references. You can make them up. They don't check. Like
Yeah.
Thompson 2004, Thompson 1996. No one checks.
Did you have to mark any essays?
For a very brief period of time.
I did it for one class. I had to mark.
Yeah.
And oh my God.
We had a marking scheme
Terrible.
though, so it was
Yeah.
super easy. I just had to be like, yeah, they done this, they done this, they done this.
Yeah.
And then if I knew who the student was, I gave them a higher grade.
Yeah.
I didn't do that. I'm kidding.
It is funny though. There was this guy in the class that I taught, so I had to teach those seminar on international relations, which wasn't even my subject. But they were like, but the whole class was getting the students to do presentations, so I had to do fuck all.
Nice.
And there was one guy in my class, and he spoke the loudest and was always talking, and just a complete nerd. I feel like his name was like Columbus or something. Like it was like the most crazy name like you've ever heard. And he was and he had, and despite knowing so much, he had by far the worst essay I'd ever read. That was interesting.
He probably like was overthinking it, right?
Yeah.
He was probably like, oh, I know so much about this, and
Yeah.
then I'm gonna write such an impressive essay, and he kind of labored over it.
Yeah, and he didn't get the structure down, you know?
Yeah. It's always the ones named Columbus.
Yeah.
They always have a stupid name.
Yeah, they always fucking do.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder if any of my students fancied me.
You can ask. You should put a poll up there. Maybe they follow you.
Yeah, maybe. I was like 27 at the time. So I was pretty young.
Yeah.
Pretty youthful looking.
Yeah.
I mean, I look 15 now, so.
I think I can't remember any of my. I think because when you're in uni, you forget all of the like adjacent people. Like I remember my lecturers. I can't remember any of their
Did you
teaching
fancy
assistants.
any of them?
Did I fancy any of them? There was one lecturer. I didn't fancy him, but I was like, oh, that's a kind of stern British man I'd like to end up with. You know, like the kind of man. You know, like Jeremy Paxman.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a vibe. That's a real vibe. You know when Hugh Grant is like grumpy in an interview, I'm like, ooh, tasty.
God. Do you like British man?
I like, yeah, well, my boyfriend's British, so probably, yeah. But I like, you know, like older British men when they're just angry all the time.
Yeah.
It's very attractive.
Really?
Yeah, like a real grumpy daddy.
Oh, it just makes me think of my dad. Yeah. So I'm like.
Maybe I'll find your dad.
Yeah. I was like, because obviously British men have been, obviously most guys date have been British, and I never thought much of it. But then when I went to America, my God, those men have such better riz.
I find them annoying.
But they know
think-
how to flirt.
I find that I like a man who's like actively hostile towards you.
Well, British men, yeah, that's who you need then.
Yeah, when you go to America and they're all like, "Hey, can I have your number?" I'm like, "Ugh."
Yeah.
Have some
I
self-respect.
don't know. I love it because I think I'm so used to either men. They either a bully you to like
Yeah.
take the piss out of you, or they can't even make eye contact. Like,
Yeah.
That's
No,
British
I
man.
I understand the whole taking a piss out of you language.
Yeah.
I don't understand the whole like forward, tell me to my face exactly what you're thinking. That freaks me out.
well, I think I've grown to like that more as I've aged.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
I'm maturing.
Yeah. I think it's also American men have the accent, which is just, ugh, just.
Yeah.
Apart from like a Southern American accent.
Yeah, like the
Really?
hillbilly accent,
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
I mean, I would never bang it, but it sounds nice.
Yeah. Howdy. Yeah, like that.
Yeah.
So he's having too much sex. That's his problem.
His essays aren't getting done.
Yeah, just chat GPT it and
Yeah.
keep ploughing that pussy. That's what I would say. Yeah.
Also, depending on the degree, I bet that essay already exists on the internet. You can just
for
copy it.
sure.
Like,
Although they're pretty thorough with the check, they can pick it up if it's
Oh,
been
yeah,
done on the
turn it
internet.
in.
Yeah,
I
fucking
remember
turn
turning it in.
Yeah,
Fucking garbage. Or get Kat's friend's number.
yeah,
Yeah, he'll write it for you. I mean, he'll get ChatGPT to write it for you.
yeah. There you go.
You're looking at me like it's me. It's
Yeah, sorry.
look down the lens, you know. So
Yeah.
speaking of Riz, the next one involves Riz,
Oh yes.
and
let's hear it.
because you're both successful comics,
yeah,
you
I'm the
might-
top female
you might
comic in
you
the
might
UK, yeah.
you might relate to this, or you might be able to have an insight into this.
Okay.
Can having zero Riz but being super funny help someone notice me?
For sure. Male comedians get laid all the time.
And they're so ugly.
They're so ugly.
Yeah.
I have seen some of the ugliest men end up with women who are far too attractive for
Yeah.
them. You could just be funny. You don't need to have a personality.
Yeah.
You don't need to be attractive. You don't even need to be tall.
Yeah.
If you are funny. These fucking guys, it's...
And they like cheat as well. Like they can't even get enough.
Yeah. And it's insane because some of the female comedians I know who are single are goddesses.
Yeah.
The single female comedians are the most beautiful women to exist.
You're right. I am. Yeah.
But they never meet men. They never successfully meet men. And then
Well, they meet other comedians.
They meet other comedians. And even those male comedians will not bang a lot of them.
Yeah.
And then you'll see just a guy who looks like a gnome. And he'll be standing next to a woman that looks like Heidi Klum.
Yeah.
And she's like shoving people aside just to speak to him. And you're like, there is something wrong with the world right now.
Yeah, so you can. However, does that only work because they're on stage?
Oh, for sure.
Because if he's just a funny guy in real life, he maybe has to have some riz.
I think he needs to have some confidence.
Okay.
Like, even if you don't have riz, if you're a funny guy who's a little bit confident, I bet there's some mentally ill woman out there
Oh, for sure.
ready to grasp.
Me, probably. Yeah.
Slide into her DMs.
Oh, man. Yeah, no, you can be... Sometimes there's some men who I've met and they've been really funny. And like I've spoken to them and they've genuinely been so awkward to speak to outside of their funniness that it's been like, oh no, fuck.
Yeah.
Can't even.
But there's some women who will find that endearing. Like, I've seen men who are super funny on stage, super confident, come off stage, and they're so socially awkward. And there are women who are like, oh my God, he's so humble. I can fix him.
I think, yeah, maybe I'm thinking more guys that they've been like socially awkward in the way that they'll like send a picture of their penis rather than like not know how to talk to you.
Oh, fair enough.
They'll be
yeah.
like sexually inappropriate, maybe.
Yeah. I think that's a whole different class.
Yeah,
of men.
yeah.
That's just predators.
Yeah. Yeah, you don't.
Yeah, I don't think you need to have riz. I think if you're confident and funny, that's riz, isn't it?
Yeah. It's funny, like you don't see many female comedians like, I don't know. You don't see like sort of male fans go up to them afterwards and sort of be like, have sex with me.
I can think of maybe 1 or 2 women who've met men who are in the audience at a comedy night. Maybe 2 is all I can think about. Sorry. Normally, when you're a female comedian and a man comes to talk to you, who's an audience member, he's either coming to tell you that he's been thinking about getting to stand-up comedy, his wife likes your jokes, or giving you a suggestion for a better punchline, according to him.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
So what I've been getting so I've been doing my set. In my set, I say I do OnlyFans.
Yeah.
I've had people come up to me and go, "Do you really do OnlyFans?"
It's like, why would I? That's a weird thing where so many people think, oh, comedians lie about everything, and I do lie about quite a bit. But,
Yeah, same. Like, yeah.
But why? There's some things where people are like people. I always get asked, "Do you really have a PhD in trains?" And I'm like, why would I make that up?
Yeah.
That's such a
like, it's not hilarious on its own.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
It's such an insane thing for me to completely fabricate.
Yeah, for sure. But no, you are a real train doctor.
I am a trained
and
doctor.
I'm a real whore.
Yeah. Heard it here first.
Why did you do it in trains?
It was the only PhD that would pay me.
So was mine. The subject I did was
Yeah.
because it would pay me.
Yeah, because I was like, I'll do anything for money.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe we are.
Yeah. Common ground. God. What's the weirdest thing you've seen at a comedy? Like, what's the... Have you ever had a very aggressive hecklers?
No, not really. There was one experience, and I will remember this until the day I die. This was before I used to do like science communication, so like do funny science, make science exciting for people or whatever. And I was at this gig. It was like one of the first few times I'd ever been on stage. And I was doing my talk, which was about the design of doors, because I'm very cool.
Yeah.
And through the whole thing, apparently other people knew about this, but through the whole thing, there was just someone, I could just hear like someone go meow, meow through and I thought it was a cat or something. So for first few times I was so nervous, I ignored it. And then finally I was like, hello, is that a cat? And then it stopped. And I was like, oh, someone took the cat out. I said something horribly rude, like fuck that cat or something awful. Came off stage, did the rest of my talk.
I feel like I know what you're about to say, but carry on, yeah.
The person organizing it was like, that's one of our regulars. They have Tourette's. And I was like, why wouldn't you warn me?
Yeah, why wouldn't you warn?
I was just on stage be like, fuck you and your mom. It's like, they have a mental illness. So, yeah.
And like everyone around them probably knew they have Tourette's.
Yeah, the audience got so awkward and I couldn't figure out why.
Yeah, they're like, why do you laugh? Yeah.
It's like I said something really cutting and funny actually. And there's just a poor person in the audience being like, I'm sorry, I can't help it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
What advice would you give to me as a budding stand-up?
Do not speak to any of the men at no, I'm kidding. What advice would I give to you? Keep doing open mics.
Yeah.
It's literally just time served.
Yeah.
That's all
That's what
you
they
need to
all
do.
say.
Do you do bringers at the moment?
Yeah. They're all bringers. My friends are so sick of me.
You must be you must be really good at networking though, I assume.
What do you mean?
Because you're a professional woman and you've done a PhD.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I would say network your way out of bringers as soon as possible. I think I did bringers only for like maybe 3 to 6 months, something like that.
Yeah.
And managed to, every gig I was like finding out about gigs, making connections so that I could get out of the whole bringers thing.
Yep. I have sucked a few people off.
Yeah.
So I will have some spots coming up soon.
Nice.
So, yeah.
Yeah, get out of the bringers. That's my biggest advice. Yeah.
And it's weird. It seems to be, talking to other people, it seems to be something that's mostly a London thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
What?
Because there's too many comedy nights in London. There's not enough audience. So, and it's easier to make your night a bringer night than it is to actually get an audience organically. And it takes so much social media promotion to do it. It's a mess.
Yeah, fucking hell. Yeah, and then there's some people nights I go to and they've done no promotion at all.
Yeah.
I'm like, my God, you're so lazy.
Yeah. But yeah, time served. That's all it is.
It is. Have you got anything you'd like to say to the horny men at home?
Live your best life.
I agree.
Unless that best life is kiddie porn, don't do that.
Yeah. Or shagging your dog.
Or shagging your dog. Don't.
I can't believe that.
Yeah. Don't shag your dogs or your kids.
Yep.
But you be you.
Words to live by.
Yeah.
Don't
Don't do dogs, kids.
keep away from the RSPCA. Yeah, I know what you kids like. Yeah. So we are going to go into the Patreon now.
Nice.
So, and it's going to get things are going to get so juicy. Whoa.
I have gossip to bring.
There's going to be liquids. It's going to be that juicy.
Nice.
Yeah, nice. So, guys, also make sure you follow. What are your socials?
I'm at Shalaka Kurup on everything.
I will link them all down below.
TikTok, Twitter, LinkedIn,
Yeah.
everything.
And you're going to be, I know you're doing any big stadium tours?
Oh, stadium tours. I'm doing the smallest rooms in London. I don't know when this is going out, but I'm doing work in progress shows until August.
Oh, nice.
So if you can come to any of those, that would be great.
You go to the Fringe?
I am. So I'll be in Edinburgh through August.
Oh.
You going to the Fringe?
I haven't got plans to. Might just rock up.
Nice, yeah. You can go for a weekend.
Yeah.
You don't need to be there for the whole month.
Yeah. And I'll just sort of make my way,
Nice.
get in there.
Yeah.
There. But yeah, you don't have enough horny men sliding in your DMs. So.
Slide into my DMs.
Yeah, so do that. Just slide in. They won't get answered, but she'll appreciate them.
I'll appreciate them. Get creative.
Yeah.
Creative.
Say some really disgusting things.
I haven't written a new joke in a long time, so I would love that so much.
Yeah, some good material.
Yeah.
Right, okay. I'm going to say bye now, guys. Bye. And now we're walking into the Patreon.
Oh, do I have
with
to
me?
walk?
Yeah.